Hi, good morning, everyone. So let us begin the day by taking a question again. Try to do this question yourself first. So suppose the utility functions for the consumer takes one of the following forms. U is equal to 50x plus 20y. U is equal to 20x plus 50y. U is equal to 80x plus 40y. Budget of consumer is 10,000. Price of good X and good Y is 50 and 20. Determine possibility of equilibrium basket in each case using diagram and comment on the nature of solution. 12 marks. Try to give this question a try. Go ahead. You're given the utility function for consumer and 3 utility functions are given to you. You're also given that the income of consumer is this and the prices are given to you of good X and Y. It is asking find possibility of equilibrium. Mane, you need to go ahead and you need to find equilibrium individually for this and for this. हर एक का equilibrium आपको अलग 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 निकालना होगा. And it says in each case using diagram, which means that you need to use a graph to represent this thing and comment on the nature of the solution. So you need to tell what kind of solution are you getting. So as it may, you may be aware that this is linear indifference curve, linear ICs. It means that you have substitute good. So use that property and try to solve. Use the property of substitute goods. Go ahead. Let's start with the first one. U is equal to 50x plus 20y. So what will be the MRS in this case? MUX by MUY, which means that differentiate utility function with respect to X, differentiate utility function with respect to Y. 50 by 20, 5 by 2. Now, find the price ratio. px by py. 50 by 20, 5 by 2. Since MRS is equal to price ratio, therefore, consumer can spend his entire income either on good X, which means X star will be M by PX, Y star will be 0. So in this case, your income is 10,000. Price of good X is 50. Or he can spend his income on entirely good Y. Or good Y. All his income on good Y. Right? So X star will be 0. Y star will be M by PY. Income is 10,000 and price of good Y is 20. Right? Try to solve this one. What will you get? 500. So that's the second one. Right? These two options are available to the consumer. Or a combination of X and Y. Or a combination of X and Y, which means that he can go ahead and say that, okay, I will consume some amount of X. So my X will be some X star and my Y will be M minus PX into that X star by PY, which constitutes the entire budget line. Right? So if I just go ahead and I do that, good X, good Y, the X coordinate is M by PX. So M by PX here is 200. M by PY here is 500. This is your budget line. And your equilibrium points are all points. This also and this also. So you can say that highest indifference curve will coincide with the budget line. So entire budget line are equilibrium points. Right? So this will be the first case, beta. The first utility function that is given to you, in which case the entire indifference curve is going to be the budget line. Now go ahead and give the second part a try, which means 20x plus 50y. So part B. Your utility function is 20x plus 50y. So your MRS will be MUX by MUY. So MRS is 2 by 5, that means 0.40. And PX by PY is 50 by 20, which means 2.5. So your MRS, it is less than PX by PY. Therefore, only good X. So in this case, your X star will be M by PX. Price of good X is 50. And Y star will be M by PY. Sorry, 0. So what kind of solution are we going ahead and are we seeing in this case? A corner solution, right? So therefore, a corner solution, right? Try to plot this. So my budget line remains consistent. This is good X. This is good Y. Here I have 500, 200. This is my budget line, right? And the ICs have a slope of 0.40, which means they're very flat, right? Whereas the budget line has a slope of MRS is 0. Sorry, only good Y will be having. My bad. Sorry. MRS is less than PX by PY. Absolutely. It will be only good Y. X star will be 0. This will be M by PY. This will be 20. Right? So this will be 500. Absolutely. So here what will happen is that my budget line is steep because the slope is more. And here this is 0.40. So my indifference curve will be flatter. So I will draw flat indifference curve like this. And this is the highest indifference curve we will reach. This is the highest indifference curve we will reach. So this will be my equilibrium. Now look at the third part. So 80x plus 40y. So MRS will be MUX by MUY. That means I will differentiate with respect to X, with respect to Y, to PX by PY will be 50 by 20, right? PX by PY will be 50 by 20, which means 2.5. So MRS is still less than PX by PY. Only good Y. So the diagram remains the same. You can just jot it down. So what I want to do is I want to do the other case also. So just write another utility function. Let me just give it from my side. Let's take another utility function. U is equal to 160x plus 45. Right? Now try this one. So part D. Now if I look at MRS, it will be MUX by MUY. 4. And if I look at px by py, 2.5. So now px by py is less than MRS, right? So only good x. Only good x. Right? So now you can go ahead and say that $200 and y star will be 0. In this case, if you go ahead and if you plot, this is your budget line. Right? And we know that slope of the indifference curve is more. So indifference curve will be steeper. And this is the highest indifference curve attained. Where you consume only good X. Right? So the exam only had the first 3 parts, but be aware of when you will be consuming only good X and when you will be consuming only good Y. That is important, right? Okay, now let's go back to what we were discussing in the last class. Okay. So just try to understand before I end this question. It says comment on the nature of the solution. So make sure that you clearly mention where it is a corner solution, where it is entire budget line. You need to also comment on the nature of solution, right? That word is important where you tell what kind of solution is existing, right? So that should also be mentioned in this solution. Okay, let's go and continue with the course.